The Soul Clan? Xiao Yan's brows furrowed upon hearing the words, clearly recognizing the term, Soul Clan. He had been vaguely suspicious of them even back when he was still on the Do-Chi continent. Among the 8 ancient races, only the Xiao clan's Do-Di bloodline had suddenly declined, while the other 7 clans' Do-Di bloodlines had continued to be passed down. The birth of the Do-Di bloodline was a breakthrough to Do-Di. During ancient times, many powerful beings among the 8 ancient races broke through to Do-Di, tearing through space to ascend to a higher plane, which was likely one of the regions of the 4 continents of the Do-Di continent. The Soul Clan was no exception. However, Xiao Yan's intuition told him that if the Soul Clan was engaging in such dirty soul-collecting practices on the lower plane of the Do-Chi continent, the true Soul Clan in the Great Thousand Worlds wouldn't be much better off. So, when he heard the term Soul Clan again, he couldn't help but mutter to himself. It looks like after the Ghost Realm is dealt with, I need to find Xun'er quickly, and I must also head to the 4 continents of the Do-Di continent, where the 8 ancient races once resided. They should know something about the Xiao clan. After all, the 8 ancient races ascended together from the Do-Chi continent. Xiao Yan quickly calculated in his mind. As Xiao Yan pondered, the other powerful beings were on high alert. During this time, the silver giant dragon showed no unusual movements, and time passed quickly. A month flew by in the blink of an eye. Master of the cottage, are these guys playing us for fools? Is it really going to take this long to repair the spatial teleportation array? As time went on, the 3rd elder of the Withered Leaf cottage couldn't help but speak up. They had spent the entire month in the narrow secret passage, although Dosian-level experts had long since become detached from worldly concerns. When I sent people to destroy the spatial array, I probably overdid it a bit, but calculating the time, it should be almost ready, Yiku said lightly. Though spatial teleportation could become disordered due to the forces of space, without anyone secretly interfering, it wouldn't cause any issues for a century or more. Since only a few decades had passed since the last repair, there shouldn't have been any problems. Then let's wait a little longer, the man in black said calmly. The man in black wasn't in a hurry. His strength was a notch above Yiku's, and after using some special methods, his power far surpassed Yiku's. Moreover, the Soul Clan had specialized means of dealing with soul energy. Though his strength hadn't reached the immortal realm level of soul cultivation, he had ways to handle that young man. Why hasn't the sect master come out yet? Normally, it would take a maximum of 10 days to repair the array, so why has it taken so long this time? The elder Yumu, who had been meditating, couldn't help but speak up. During this month, they had been waiting here, though they had encountered some backlash from the spatial forces. However, with Xiao Yan's soul power protection, the defense had been slowly holding up. Glug, glug. Soon, the silver giant dragon, tightly bound, had its silver scales stand up as if it had encountered some deadly threat. Whoosh! The next moment, the light from the array core emitted a mighty force. This force was still spatial energy, but unlike the silver giant dragon's chaotic spatial energy, this was much gentler. Glug! As the array core emitted such a gentle spatial force, the silver giant dragon's body suddenly became ethereal. The chaotic spatial energy on its body was gradually resolved and dispersed in all directions. Did it succeed? Xiao Yan's soul power was immense, so he was the first to sense what was happening. Seeing the chaotic spatial energy on the silver giant dragon dissipating, a smile crept up the corner of his mouth. As long as the spatial array was successfully repaired, the Eastern continent competition would be within reach. Plop! A figure emerged directly from the core light of the array. Sect Master! Seeing Yu Tianyue appear, the many experts of the Rain sect were filled with joy. It worked, Yu Tianyue said with a slight smile before looking up at the disappearing silver giant dragon. The spatial array had been repaired. Once the silver giant dragon dissipated, the spatial array could be used again. This spatial array is strange. It doesn't seem like it's naturally occurring. It's more like someone interfered with it, Yu Tianyue said. The silver giant dragon's massive size wouldn't dissipate so quickly, but the array had been repaired, so the dragon was slowly disappearing. Sect Master, are you implying? The elder Yumu seemed to realize something and asked in confusion. It's just a guess. There's no proof. Yu Tianyue shook his head. The Rain Sect and Withered Leaf Cottage were nearly equal in overall strength, even though both were at the peak of the late 3-star Do Xian level. These two forces had been in a constant struggle for years without coming to a definitive winner. This journey must have been quite arduous for you, young friend Xiao Yin, Yu Tianyue remarked with a smile. It might be a little premature to say that now. Before Xiao Yin could respond, a peculiar tremor suddenly rippled through the void of the array space. Crack! Crack! The sound of shattering porcelain echoed, and 4 figures gradually emerged in the eyes of the Rain Sect's powerful experts. Yes, 4. All 4 were mighty figures from Withered Leaf Cottage. As for the Soul Clan member, they remained hidden in the shadows, biding their time. You Sect Master, it's been a while, hasn't it? With a tone dripping with mockery, the Cottage Master, Yiku, stepped forward and broke the silence. In an instant, 2 late 2-star Do Xian experts from the Rain Sect were mercilessly obliterated by Yiku and a middle-aged woman at his side. Curse it! Yu Tianyue couldn't hold back a roar as he witnessed the scene. The very outcome he dreaded had come to pass. Of the 10 who had entered the spatial array, Yu Tianyue himself was a late 3-star Do Xian, accompanied by the Rain Sect's Grand Elder, Yu Mu, a mid-3-star Do Xian. The rest were merely 2-star Do Xian, among whom the 2 late 2-star Do Xian experts, now slain, had been their strongest. The remaining fighters were merely at the early or mid-2-star Do Xian level. Yi Yunqing, the 3rd elder of Withered Leaf Cottage? Wasn't he exposed by our sect master and imprisoned in our Rain Sect's dungeon? How could this be? Observant members of the Rain Sect murmured in shock at the sight of the fallen comrades. All thanks to our cottage master, of course. The 3rd elder in your dungeon was merely a scapegoat, a gray-robed figure. The actual Yi Yunqing stepped forward with a chilling laugh. Yiku, a late 3-star Do Xian, Yi Shuang, the Grand Elder and mid-3-star Do Xian, and Yi Yunqing, the 3rd elder and an early 3-star Do Xian. Yu Tianyue murmured, an invisible pressure mounting as he took in their strength. And there's also the 5th elder, a late 2-star Do Xian, an old rival. Xiao Yin took a step forward, his gaze sharp. Huh, you little brat. Last time, you disrupted our plans in the Withered Leaf Cottage. This time, I'll make sure you suffer a fate worse than death. The 5th elder's eyes burned with deep hatred as he glared at Xiao Yin. Move. Yiku is mine, Yu Tianyue commanded. Grand Elder, take on Yi Shuang. The rest of you, split into 2 groups, one to handle Yi Yunqing, and the other to protect Xiao Yin against the 5th elder. That early 3-star Do Xian, Yi Yunqing. There's something unusual about his strength, one person observed grimly. As for the 5th elder, leave him to me, Xiao Yin said calmly, though a faint smile played at the corners of his lips. Ha ha ha. When did the people of Withered Leaf Cottage become targets for others to pick at will? The 5th elder burst into laughter, sneering at Xiao Yin's boldness. Although they had crossed paths before in the soul-splitting cavern, the 5th elder had not fully unleashed his power back then, preoccupied with protecting Yisheng. Now, facing Xiao Yin head-on with his full strength, the 5th elder was confident this would be an easy kill. After all, the gap between an early 2-star Do Xian and a late 2-star Do Xian was no small matter. Yu Tianyue, today will be your downfall. 2 of you at 3-star Do Xian won't be a match for my 3. Yiku advanced on Yu Tianyue, his late 3-star Do Xian aura expanding and filling the space with crushing force. The balance of power between Withered Leaf Cottage and the Rain Sect had long hinged on the equal number of 3-star Do Xian experts on each side. Enough talk, fight. Yu Tianyue roared. He knew full well they were at a disadvantage. That Yiku would deploy all of Withered Leaf Cottage's top forces in such an ambush was a testament to his ruthlessness and determination. The fierce clash of their auras sent shockwaves rippling through the array space as the 2 figures moved like streaks of light, their blows causing the very fabric of the array to tremble. Victory would not come quickly. Yi Shuang, it's been a while. Let's see if your strength has improved, Yu Mu said coldly, his voice carrying a dangerous edge. As a mid-3-star Do Xian, he was no less formidable than Yu Tianyue. Stronger or not, why not find out? Yishuang replied tersely, her focus sharp. At their level, deciding a battle's outcome in a short time was nearly impossible. Boom, boom, boom. Yu Mu and Yishuang clashed fiercely, their attacks so intense that neither could gain the upper hand in a short period. Brothers charge. We must hold this guy off. If he gets free, the situation will become disastrous for us. The remaining mid-2-star Docian experts couldn't help but urge each other as they faced the early 3-star Docian elder, Yi Yunqing. All together now. You're not leaving here alive today anyway. Yi Yunqing spoke nonchalantly as Do Qi began to circulate within his body.
Attack!
The other 2-star Docian experts unleashed powerful strikes, launching their assaults at Yi Yunqing. Sigh. 3-3-star Docians against 2. This overwhelming situation. There's no doubt about the outcome, Xiao muttered while shaking his head. I hope you can hold Yi Yunqing off a bit longer. At least let me finish off the 5th elder of Withered Leaf Cottage. Otherwise, this battle's result will be a foregone conclusion. You brat. Still worrying about others when you're about to die? The 5th elder of Withered Leaf Cottage, infuriated, swung his palm at Xiao. Boom, boom, boom. A casual palm strike unleashed brilliant Do Qi, which coalesced into a massive energy pillar 100 meters wide, roaring toward Xiao. Boom. Xiao didn't bother with excessive defense. The ancient ruler of heavenly flames in his hand erupted with dazzling flames, nullifying the attack. Show me your real skills. Otherwise, you won't last 3 moves, Xiao quipped, easily neutralizing the 5th elder's assault. You. Outrageous. The 5th elder, though aware of Xiao formidable soul power, had assumed his combat abilities were relatively lacking. Yet now, he realized he had been gravely mistaken. 5th brother, don't kill this guy. We need him alive, Yi Yunqing hastily instructed, noticing the 5th elder's rage. Humph brat, don't think you can provoke me with mere words. The 5th elder took a deep breath, calming himself. So, you're finally serious? Xiao smirked, a hint of anticipation in his gaze. Though the 5th elder was a late 2-star Docian, Xiao felt eager to test his abilities. Having undergone the first transformation of Dragon God transformation, his body tempered further with the augmentation of his battle soul and battle core. He wanted to see if he could stand against such a powerful opponent without fully tapping into his strength. Fire net! The 5th elder roared, flames surging from his body to form a web of blazing light, aimed at Xiao. Trivial tricks. Have you forgotten how my flames suppress yours? Xiao responded calmly. With a casual wave of his hand, a surge of fire power instantly shattered the fiery net. The flames Xiao used were merely fire attributes condensed from his battle core, without invoking the sacred flame. Yet, even so, the firepower imbued by the sacred flame and 2 battle cores was overwhelmingly superior to most fire attribute practitioners. One strike. Xiao raised the ancient ruler of heavenly flames again. Observing the nearby 2-star Docian experts being steadily overwhelmed by Yi Yunqing, he decided not to waste more time. Arrogant brat, the 5th elder snarled, his attacks futile against Xiao defenses. Though he was a late 2-star Docian, his fire-based technique seemed laughable against Xiao overwhelming flame dominance. Let me show you the power of the 7-layered Skybreaker ruler. Xiao smirk deepened as an earthy yellow flame began to replace the ordinary fire on his body. What is this? Though the 5th elder was knowledgeable, the sight of the earthy yellow flames left him bewildered. Sacred flame? Hidden in the shadows, a member of the Soul Clan with dark red pupils exuded a suffocating aura. This boy, an immortal realm soul, a sacred flame. Seems like I've struck gold this time. The Een Protector muttered under his breath, shrouded in dense black mist imbued with a terrifying power. 5th elder, it's over. 7-layered Skybreaker ruler. Destroy. Xiao soared into the air, the earthy yellow flame merging with the ancient ruler of heavenly flames. Gripping the massive ruler with both hands, he swung it down at the 5th elder with unrelenting force. You damned brat, come at me with everything you've got. Yi Yunqing couldn't hold back a furious roar as he tried to release a surge of overwhelming energy to scatter the two-star Do Xian opponents and rescue Elder Wu. Otherwise, under the attack of Xiao Yan's yellowish flames, Elder Wu might fall to his doom. Think you can break free from us? No way. But things were not as simple as Yi Yunqing had hoped. The few two-star Do Xian holding him back, though weaker, were fearless and tenacious, holding their ground and preventing Yi Yunqing from escaping. Damn it! What in the world is this thing? My Doqi is out of control. This time, Xiao Yan didn't use the seven-layered Skybreaker ruler but instead infused the power of the sacred flame into the ancient ruler of heavenly flames. The seventh layer of the ruler transformed into a ferocious yellow fire dragon, roaring toward Elder Wu with the destructive power of sacred flame. Boom! The yellow fire dragon met no resistance and swallowed Elder Wu in one bite. Thus, even a powerful late-stage two-star Do Xian like Elder Wu was completely obliterated by a brash young boy at the early stage of two-star Do Xian. Fifth brother. Seeing Elder Wu consumed by the yellow fire dragon, Yi Yunqing could not help but roar in despair. As the third elder of the Withered Leaf Cottage, Yi Yunqing had always been close to Elder Wu, and seeing his vital energy rapidly fading, he shouted in anger. Boom! Without hesitation, the yellow fire dragon opened its grotesque maw and bit down on Elder Wu's body. In the terrifying flames, Elder Wu couldn't defend himself, and his life force quickly waned. In mere moments, he lay motionless in the air, his aura weak and lifeless, clearly dead. If it were someone else, they might not have been so easily erased by Xiao Yan, but Elder Wu was a fire element cultivator. The sacred flame, being the supreme of all flames, suppressed Elder Wu's own fire attribute Do Qi, rendering him unable to control it. Even though Elder Wu was a late-stage two-star Do Xian, much stronger than Xiao Yan, he still fell. Burned to ashes. Xiao Yan naturally didn't intend to leave any future trouble. The brilliant yellow flames surged once more, and right before Yi Yunqing's murderous gaze, Elder Wu's body was completely consumed by the flames, leaving nothing behind. Both his body and soul were eradicated under the sacred flame. After all, if the root isn't removed, the grass will grow again. Ah, little brat. I swear I'll make you wish you were never born. Xiao Yan's actions were a direct declaration of war against the entire Withered Leaf Cottage, but at this point, he had no other choice. As his master, the Devourer of Souls, had warned, there might be powerful Soul Clan members lurking here. To prevent future trouble, Xiao Yan had no choice but to completely burn Elder Wu's body and soul. If left alive, the Soul Clan could potentially use some forbidden technique to resurrect him, which would be a major problem. Boom, boom, boom. Yi Yunqing roared in fury as his Do Qi erupted, spreading outward from him in a violent wave. Thud. The few two-star Do Xian trying to block Yi Yunqing were clearly at their limits. Blood spurted from their mouths, and they were sent flying backward. Leave the rest to me. Xiao Yan easily caught them and gently transferred a calming force into their bodies, speaking softly. Master Xiao Yan, this guy's really strong. Seeing Xiao Yan obliterate the late-stage two-star Do Xian Elder Wu, the other two-star Do Xian were now fully convinced by his power. After all, strength was the best argument. I know. You all rest now. Xiao Yan smiled and walked directly toward Yi Yunqing. You little brat, do you dare come closer? I must say, your courage is impressive. Yi Yunqing's face twisted, and he glared at Xiao Yan with venomous eyes. I must say, I've never met such a shameless person as you. Xiao Yan replied indifferently. Although Yi Yunqing was a 3-star Do Xian, and Xiao Yan was only an early-stage 2-star Do Xian, in a life-and-death fight, Xiao Yan wasn't afraid at all. Kid, make your move. Don't worry, I won't kill you too quickly. That would be too easy for you. I'll let you savor what despair really feels like. I'll make you regret offending the Withered Leaf Cottage for the rest of your life. Ha ha ha. You're really a madman, but with just your strength, it seems a bit difficult to wipe me out. Xiao Yan laughed, but then his expression grew serious. The battle core and flame mantra within him were operating at full speed. His intuition told him that although Yi Yunqing was proud, His genuine strength was at the mid-3-star Do Xian level, which was a significant threat. Xiao Yan's pressure was immense. However, pressure could also be a source of motivation. Xiao Yan believed that if he succeeded this time, his future path would become much smoother. Bring it on. Water Dragon Aura. Yi Yunqing spoke first. As the words fell, a tremendous repulsive force suddenly filled the space of the formation, pushing against Xiao Yan's body with overwhelming pressure. Damn, this pressure is so strong. Xiao Yan couldn't help but summon the earthy yellow sacred flame to envelop himself, trying to lessen the crushing force. Yi Yunqing actually had a water attribute. Water might be gentle, but in the hands of a powerful opponent, even defense-oriented elements like earth or other seemingly weak attributes could unleash terrifying destructive power. Roar! In the next moment, a 100-foot-long water dragon composed of eerie green water energy appeared before Xiao Yan. The water dragon's surface was coated with eerie green do qi that pulsed ominously, creating an intense pressure on Xiao Yan. Surrounding the water dragon was a protective column of water, shielding it from all sides. These water columns enveloped the dragon so thoroughly that even if Xiao Yan made a move, he would likely only be able to damage a few of them. Destroying them all would be almost impossible. Water counteracts fire, and there's a huge difference in strength. One whole realm apart, the suppression is too strong. At this rate, there's no way to fight back. Xiao Yan quickly moved his body while thinking of how to deal with this. Only by combining the power of the Fire Heart Skyrock and my Battle Soul can I hope to eliminate this pressure. After a moment, Xiao Yan had formed a plan in his mind. Elemental weaknesses were one of the key factors in battles, and with such a clear disparity in strength, his only option was to use the sacred flame alongside his battle core to enhance the purity of his flames, which could help mitigate the elemental restraint. After all, while restraints existed, they could be reduced to negligible levels under certain conditions. Since coming to the Ghost Realm, Xiao Yan had seldom used the Ghost Face Soul Flame, mainly because items from the Ghost Realm could only consume 2 types of sacred flames, and the Ghost Face Soul Flame was one of them. If he exposed it, he would be in grave danger. Ha ha ha. Kid, you're like a stray dog running away. Once I get bored, it's your death. Yi Yunqing didn't seem to notice Xiao Yan's movements. Instead, he controlled the water dragon to continuously launch powerful attacks, watching Xiao Yan run around with joy. Damn it! Seeing Elder Wu of the Withered Leaf Cottage fall to Xiao Yan, Yi Ku's face darkened. A late 2-star Do Xian expert was a core force within a family faction. For such a person to be killed by a mere early-stage 2-star Do Xian brat left Yi Ku baffled. Yi Ku, it seems even the heavens aren't on your side this time. Yu Tianyus smiled slowly, clearly surprised by Xiao Yan's ability to kill a late 2-star Do Xian. Xiao Yan's soul power was formidable, and his Do Qi cultivation and combat strength were terrifying. Mind your own business. After a brief exchange, the two resumed their brutal battle. Their attacks were filled with malevolent intent, but after a long while, no victor had emerged. The elder of Withered Leaf Cottage has fallen. It seems you miscalculated this time, Yu Mu said as she fought off Yi Shuang's attack. Not necessarily. Regardless, this time, your Rain sect is doomed. The only difference will be how many more of us from Withered Leaf Cottage survive. Yi Shuang responded coldly. Is that so? The two exchanged a final word before erupting into another fierce clash. Are all the people from Withered Leaf Cottage fools? 3-star Do Xian can't even deal with them. A shadow hidden in the darkness spoke slowly. Heh, old fool. Let's see how long you can keep boasting. Xiao Yan continued to run while formulating a plan. But within him, a terrifying and shocking wave of energy began to rise, growing stronger with each passing moment. Kid, I'm done playing. It's time for you to join my 5th brother. As Xiao Yan continued fleeing in the sky, Yi Yunqing, the 3rd elder of Withered Leaf Cottage, slowly revealed a sinister smile. Whoosh. The game of cat and mouse should end now. Xiao Yan stopped fleeing as he spoke, standing steadily in midair. From within his body, an aura as powerful as a waking dragon began to surge, gradually filling every part of him with an overwhelming force. There seems to be something unusual within Lord Xiao Yan's body, murmured the injured rain sect experts gathering nearby. Through the pressure emanating from the void, they could clearly sense the terrifying nature of what lay hidden. Ha ha ha. What a joke. You're just a greenhorn at the early 2-star Do Xian stage. How could you possibly compete with me? Yi Yunqing laughed heartily, his eyes brimming with disdain. The gap between an early 2-star Do Xian and an early 3-star Do Xian was no trivial matter. Water attributes are indeed powerful and can suppress my fire attributes, Xiao Yan said with a faint smile. But as long as the purity of my flame surpasses that of water, it's not water restraining fire. It's fire overcoming water. Xiao Yan's words were not unfounded. The principle of the 5 elements counteraction applies only when the opposing forces are of equal strength. Under such conditions, water counters fire. However, when the energy levels differ, the outcome shifts. In the realm of Do Xian cultivation, there are methods to refine elemental purity, but compared to sacred flames, such techniques pale in comparison. The sacred flame elevated Xiao Yan's fire attribute to an entirely new level. In terms of elemental properties alone, unless the opponent was a 4-star Do Xian specializing in water, no one could suppress Xiao Yan's sacred flame through attributes alone. Kid, you must be scared out of your wits. In that case, die. Yi Yunqing snarled, deciding he had wasted enough time. In his eyes, no matter how talented or extraordinary Xiao Yan seemed, he was nothing more than an ant that could be crushed at will. Boom! A roaring water dragon surged forward, exuding a venomous and menacing aura, shooting toward Xiao Yan like a ferocious serpent. Good timing. Since you don't believe me, let me show you today. Xiao Yan laughed loudly, spreading his arms wide without any attempt to evade. His posture seemed almost as though he was welcoming death. Haha, kid. It doesn't feel good to just wait for death, does it? Yi Yunqing scoffed. He wasn't worried about any tricks Xiao Yan might play. The difference in their strength was absolute. Lord Xiao Yan. The other rain sect experts looked on nervously. Xiao Yan had already proven his strength by defeating the 5th elder, a late 2-star Do Xian, but the 3rd elder, Yi Yunqing, was a genuine early 3-star Do Xian. The disparity between their power levels made Xiao Yan's defiance seem like a futile struggle. Crash! The water dragon coiled through the void, creating waves of energy terrifying enough to obliterate a 2-star Do Xian. Undying Netherworld Sparrow. As the water dragon roared toward him, Xiao Yan finally acted. His arms stretched wide, his pupils contracted sharply, and a domineering flame burst forth from his body. The blazing energy formed a phantom image over 10 meters tall, surging around Xiao Yan with overwhelming power. Boom, boom, boom. Water and fire clashed violently, releasing devastating ripples through the void. This aura. Yi Yunqing, once confident of his victory, furrowed his brows in shock. The fire that erupted from Xiao Yan, along with the faint shadow accompanying it, filled him with an inexplicable sense of dread. Even more astonishing, the water's natural suppression over fire was completely nullified. Instead, the scorching aura of the flames began to invade Yi Yunqing's own senses, pressing upon his mind with an oppressive heat. Impossible. Yi Yunqing's first thought was one of disbelief. He was well aware of the dynamics between water and fire, yet here was Xiao Yan, an early 2-star Do Xian, unleashing a force that not only counteracted his water dragon but also created such palpable waves of terror. Clearly, the flames Xiao Yan wielded were far from ordinary. Yi Yunqing lowered his arrogance as a 3-star Do Xian and stared at Xiao Yan more closely. What he saw sent chills down his spine. Xiao Yan's entire body was enveloped by the phantom of a soul beast. The beast exuded a violent, savage energy, and faint traces of a grayish-yellow flame flickered across its surface, dancing menacingly. Meanwhile, Yi Yunqing's water dragon was steadily dissolving under the assault of Xiao Yan's power, its form and strength eroding with each passing moment. Battle soul and sacred flame, coupled with the immortal realm's spiritual essence. It's been ages since I've seen a young one this formidable, a Soul Clan expert muttered to himself in the shadows. Hidden away, He observed the battle intently, his eyes gleaming with a calculating light. The Soul Clan's influence stretched across the great Thousand Worlds. They were not concerned with the affairs of Withered Leaf Cottage, or whether its people lived or died. Is this a battle soul? Yi Yunqing sensed a dangerous aura from the violent soul beast's phantom. The yellow-gray flames were naturally a result of Xiao Yin using the Fire Heart Heavenly Rock combined with the Undying Netherworld flame. The so-called Undying Netherworld flame was actually the fire seed of the Undying Netherworld Sparrow, which had been refined by Xiao Yin and was now under his control. This flame was gray in color, likely of the same tier as the Undying Fire, but its power was probably only slightly more powerful than the residual flame of the Undying Fire. With the Undying Netherworld flame and the Fire Heart Heavenly Rock, although dealing with the formidable Yi Yunqing, a 3-star Docian, was challenging. Stalling him for a while was certainly not a problem. Correct. Undying Netherworld flame. Xiao Yin sneered and waved his hands towards Yi Yunqing in midair. Instantly, yellow-gray flames surged, forming fierce attacks that shot towards him with terrifying intensity, resembling venomous snakes in their ferocity. Water Spirit Realm. Yi Yunqing, though surprised, did not hesitate to react. Using his water attribute, he formed an enormous water wave barrier in front of him. The yellow-gray flames, as sharp as venomous snakes, were slowly consumed as they neared Yi Yunqing's water spirit realm. Yet, Yi Yunqing could sense that this opponent was far from simple. Boom, boom, boom. Soon, the two forces collided, shattering each other's attacks. Both retreated a step. It seems I underestimated you. I thought you were just a weakling with strong soul power, but you've hidden so much. Yi Yunqing resisted the invisible pressure of the flames and smiled at Xiao Yin. You haven't seen everything yet? Old man, take this. Xiao Yin said, not giving him a chance to speak, directly enhancing his attack with the Undying Netherworld Sparrow's battle soul. Humph. Kid, don't get too cocky. Though you have a battle soul and can use the purity of your flames to counteract the water's ability to suppress fire, don't forget, your strength is only early 2-star Docian. When I was at the early 2-star Docian stage, you probably didn't even know where you were messing around. Yi Yunqing, with the power of a 3-star Docian, wasn't intimidated by Xiao Yan's battle soul. Enough with the talk. I'm curious just how strong a 3-star Docian really is compared to me. Xiao Yan's voice was filled with pride. I see. Just as Xiao Yan was about to strike, he felt a faint ripple of soul power, which clearly came from Yu Tianyue. I hope so, Yi Yunqing said, and the dazzling attack once again began to coalesce. Although with the help of his battle soul and sacred flame, Xiao Yan could temporarily make up for the difference in their strength. Defeating Yi Yunqing would require using 2 sacred flames. But using 2 sacred flames would expose his ghost-faced soul flame, which would make him a target for everyone's attention. Xiao Yan couldn't afford to reveal it. Water Spirit Sword. Yi Yunqing snorted coldly. A sword glowed with a faint cyan light, slowly forming in his hand. This sword, a product of Yi Yunqing's water attribute Do Qi, was formidable. This guy's control over the water attribute is impressive. Looks like I need to pull out some tricks to match with Sect Master Yu. Xiao Yin, wanting to keep some of his abilities hidden for future events like the Eastern Continent competition, decided to conserve his strength. Undying Netherworld Flame. Xiao Yin didn't waste time. He activated his battle soul power, and the violent aura of the Undying Netherworld Sparrow slowly spread out. Don't underestimate the few dozen yards of battle soul phantoms surrounding Xiao Yin. They enhanced his defense and the power of his fire attribute. Ruhar. A furious roar echoed, and yellow-gray flames, like a world-ending light, surged directly at Yi Yunqing. Small tricks. Yi Yunqing chuckled lightly, grasping the water spirit's sword tightly. He slashed it, sending dozens of sword rays, howling towards Xiao Yan's attack. Whoosh! Brilliant attacks detached from the water spirit's sword, and the sword, entirely composed of water, split into dozens of powerful water pillars that shot at Xiao Yin. Their intensity was such that even a typical early 2-star Docian wouldn't dare to take them head-on. Boom, boom, boom. Strange. Why is this guy losing his edge? What is he up to? Yi Yunqing muttered to himself, perplexed after exchanging blows with Xiao Yan multiple times. Despite facing Xiao Yan's usually formidable soul power, he found that even after Xiao Yan unleashed his battle soul, the resulting attacks lacked the force to truly threaten him. Getting distracted will cost you your life. In the next moment, Xiao Yan's speed skyrocketed. Empowered by his battle soul, he closed the distance between them instantly, transforming his limbs into deadly weapons in close combat. Damn it, you! Yi Yunqing grunted, readying his water spirit sword to defend himself. But Xiao Yan allowed him no chance. Every punch and palm strike carried an overwhelming aura. What is Master Xiao Yan up to? Wondered the wounded rain sect experts below, puzzled. With his battle soul and that terrifying flame, Xiao Yan should have been able to easily overpower Yi Yunqing. But they couldn't see that. While fighting, Xiao Yan seemed to be preparing something else entirely. Meanwhile, two other battles were reaching deadlocks. Yi Shuang and Yu Mu were evenly matched, making it hard to determine a victor anytime soon. But the clash between the two late 3-star Do Xian experts was truly breathtaking, each exchange sending shockwaves that reverberated through the battlefield. That bastardine protector is just waiting to reap the benefits. Yi Ku cursed inwardly while fending off the powerful strikes of Yu Tianyue. Outwardly, they were both known as late 3-star Do Xian powerhouses, but only the two of them understood the real gap between their strengths. Yi Ku, it's only been 10 years since our last battle, yet your strength seems to have waned, Yu Tianyue taunted with a grin, momentarily pausing his assault. What he hadn't expected was that this brat Xiao Yan not only wielded a sacred flame and battle soul but had also taken down the fifth elder, a late 2-star Do Xian. Now, using the sacred flame and battle soul, Xiao Yan was holding his own against the early 3-star Do Xian, Yi Yunqing. This made Yu Tianyue's evaluation of Xiao Yan rise even higher. Yu Tianyue, you old dog. Don't get cocky. Yi Ku gritted his teeth in fury. A decade ago, they had fought to a draw when both had just reached the late 3-star Do Xian stage. But now, facing off again, Yi Ku felt a sense of impending doom. Somehow, Yu Tianyue had achieved the pinnacle of the late 3-star Do Xian level, while Yi Ku, despite stabilizing his realm over the past decade, was only at the mid-stage. The small gap between them was enough to tilt the balance, making Yi Ku's defeat a matter of time. Ever since that spatial formation malfunctioned, I've been planning this, and I bet everything on it, Yu Tianyue suddenly chuckled. And it looks like my gamble paid off. You showed up after all? You. Realizing something was amiss, Yi Ku's expression changed. Xiao Yan now? Yu Tianyue shouted suddenly. Not good. Seeing Xiao Yan abruptly withdraw, channeling brilliant soul power from his body toward Yi Ku, Yi Yunqing instantly understood why Xiao Yan had been holding back. Too late. Xiao Yan's voice reverberated through the void, unleashing a dazzling soul wave that transformed into an ethereal sound resonating within the array space. Ah! Yi Ku, focused entirely on defending against Yu Tianyue, was caught off guard by Xiao Yan's soul attack, letting out agonized screams. Wind constriction, annihilate. A fierce shout echoed, accompanied by a burst of azure hurricane winds. In Yi Ku's pupils, the swirling winds rapidly magnified, bringing an overwhelming sense of impending death. Protector, save me? Desperate and facing an abrupt change, Yi Ku turned towards a hidden passage in the formation and screamed for help. Heh! Such formidable soul power, a sinister voice murmured. As soon as Yi Ku's plea faded, an eerie black mist emerged, shielding him. In an instant, it devoured Yu Tianyue's devastating azure winds. Members of the Soul Clan, Xiao Yan, and the Rain Sect's Grand Elder Yu Mu stopped simultaneously, while the forces of the Rain Sect and Withered Leaf Cottage retreated to their respective sides.